Hello there, people of the internet. You guys are going to get a kick out of this particular video. I know I have a lot of people on my YouTube channel who believe like old school fighting rifles are vastly superior to what we have nowadays. As a matter of fact, I got myself one right here. Have a look at an old school fighting rifle. This is a Ishapur 2A1 chambered in 7.62 NATO, clearly modeled after the Lee Enfield series of rifles. And those Lee Enfield series of rifles have definitely been there and done that. But plenty of people feel that those are absolutely superior in comparison to what we have nowadays. So, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that in some kind of sense. I was talking to an older gentleman, and he had told me that he does not like the AR platform simply because he wants something that he can customize and make his own. He was making an argument for the Mosin Nagant rifle. He wanted something that he can cut the wood up on, that he can decorate and put scopes on and put whatever he wants on it, effectively making it, like I said, his own rifle in comparison to an AR, which basically has them all looking the same. And then he proceeded to show me photos of, well, his rifles that he made his own, and they all looked like generic standard hunting rifles that had cut down wood, cut down barrels, and scope mounts on them, so those all look the same. Anyway, whenever it comes to customizational options of the AR platform, you can absolutely do whatever you want with this rifle dramatically easier than you can with like a military surplus rifle. For example, if I wanted to make this Enfield my own and do some customization work, let's say I wanted to sporterize it, I'd have to lose the upper handguards, I'd have to figure out a way to mount the stock properly to the rifle, I'd have to cut down the wood on the stock, lose the nose cap and bayonet lug capabilities. If I wanted to put a scope on this thing, I would have to drill out the receiver and find myself a scope mount that would actually work with this particular platform, etc., etc. It would be a significant amount of chore to customize this thing to what I would deem to be like my own choice of custom rifle, even though it would look literally like every other sporterized rifle out there. Well, to customize an AR, it is dramatically easier and dramatically simpler. Like, for example, this particular one and that particular one are both chambered in 223-556. The most common round you're going to find is going to be either a 62 or 55 grain round. This particular case, I got some M855. If you need to punch through concrete or some kind of heavy barrier, then that steel core penetrator might serve you well. Or if you want extra velocity, the lead core 55 grain projectile might serve you well. Or if you want something that's more effective on soft gelatin-like targets, then maybe a VMAX round, 77 grain, might be more up your alley. Let's say you don't even want a 223-556. Guess what? You can just swap out the upper on these things, or even just a quick barrel change, and you can run 6.5 Grendel if you want a 6.5 round for touching out at longer distances with good effective capabilities, or a 300 blackout round if you want a good 30 caliber round with good effectiveness, or you could swap out for any other number of calibers. Even if you're a 22 long rifle guy, they make 22 long rifle adapter kits for these things, so you could just shove that adapter kit into your AR, and guess what? Now you can run 22 long rifle in your rifle. The AR is, well, I don't want to say the only, but the only really common rifle out there that you could extremely easily change out the caliber for. It is very easy to change out the caliber for an AR. All you got to do for a bunch of them is just take off the old barrel, put on a new barrel. It's literally held on with a big old bolt. Get yourself an armorer's wrench, and you can do that very easily. Or you can just swap out the uppers if that's more your forte. Now, if you're shooting out at long ranges, guess what? You can easily mount a scope to these things. They got a Picatinny rail on the top of the receiver, unless we're talking about some kind of retro build that has a carry handle. You literally just mount your scope to that Picatinny rail, and you don't got to worry about drilling and setting up proper scope mounts and doing measuring to make sure that everything's properly aligned. The AR just comes from the factory with those features. So you want yourself a long-range rifle, 6.5 Grendel AR with a scope on it. That should serve you pretty gosh darn well. You want iron sights on your rifle? You can go out and get yourself whatever iron sights you want. You want yourself a white light on your rifle? Guess what? They make mounts for that white light. This particular case, I got an M-LOK system right here. I got a Picatinny adapter because Picatinny stuff is significantly cheaper than M-LOK stuff. If you want yourself sling mounts, you can throw whatever sling mount you want on your rifle and have it mount literally wherever you want on your rifle. If I wanted to change the sling mount on my, say, Ishapur that I showed earlier, I would have to drill and like screw in a physical mount to actually change that mounting position. And if I wanted to move that mounting position, then I would have to unscrew it, pull it out, and I would have a hole in my wood. Definitely not going to be ideal for what I would call customizing a rifle and making it your own. So you can chamber this in basically whatever you want. If you're an AK guy, you can get these in 7.62 by 39. If you want a more powerful cartridge, something that's not intermediate, then guess what? You can go ahead and go with the AR-10, and that should give you your 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor or whatever full power rifle cartridge you want. I have seen them in 270, and that's kind of where I would lean, honestly, whenever it comes to an AR-10. An AR-10 and 270 just sounds like the absolute pinnacle of rifle technology. So whatever caliber you want, whatever optics you want iron sights, they got iron sights. You want a scope, they got scope. You want long range capabilities, they got rifles that are capable at long ranges. You want a red dot, in this particular case, I got a sick red dot on this thing. You want yourself the ability to extend or retract your stock to fit your particular body's contour. You can go ahead and do that as well. You want the ability to have 5 shots in your magazine. They make 5-round magazines. Or you want a standard capacity 29-round magazine, then you can go ahead and do that as well. Or if you want a drum magazine for these things that holds a ridiculous amount of ammunition, you can go ahead and do that as well. If you don't like the grips on these things, you can swap out the grips and the stocks and whatnot for whatever you want. If you prefer wood, they make wood furniture for the AR-15. If you want yourself something that has like the standard for civilian rifles, a 16-inch barrel due to US government law, then you can go out and get yourself a standard 16-inch barrel. Or if you want a longer barrel for that extra velocity, you can go out and get yourself a longer barrel. You want yourself a heavier barrel so you can have sustained fire and retain accuracy, then absolutely you can find yourself an AR barrel like that. Or if you want a pencil barrel because you want yourself a nice lightweight rifle, this M16 build right here with this KP15 lower, that's a polymer lower. That's a pencil barrel. That's a PSA upper on it. That comes in at 5.5 pounds unloaded. That is an extremely light rifle, extremely comfortable to carry around, and it is a long barrel, so I get the velocity that I want from the cartridges that I want. My bottom line and main point is that these rifles are overwhelmingly customizable to where you can make it your own, and it is to the point to where people consider it to be boring. They consider these to be boring rifles because they can do literally anything with it. This right here is the gun that puts fighting on easy mode. Whatever situation you want, you can get these in 9mm for like a, if you want a pistol caliber carbine. You get 22 for training purposes. You can get 5.56 just for the standard cartridge if you want to have access to a dramatic amount of ammunition. And a variety of ammunition, 6.5, 30 cal, 7.62 by 39, 300 blackout, white lights, lasers, optics, irons. Like, you can literally do anything that you want with this rifle in order to make it the most capable rifle for your particular situation. If you are in a city, maybe something shorter like an AR pistol might serve you better. Or if you're out in, I don't know, the plains of the Midwest where you might be taking shots at long distances, maybe a good long AR-10 in 6.5 Creedmoor might be the way to go for you. Like I said, people don't like these because they don't like how easy and boring they are, but guess what? In a bad situation, it doesn't matter how bored you are with your rifle. What matters is how effective it is. And having a rifle that you can customize for any sort of situation and make your own for whatever it is that you're going to be doing with it, in whatever environment, in whatever, like, it's just one of those things that you can do anything with. So the AR is absolutely a very, very easily customizable rifle. All right, that's my 2 cents on the situation. I wanted to tell you guys about this because it's something that popped up in my head and I wanted to talk about it. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below is linked to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you all in the next episode.
Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.